Alex Eala is being called one of the biggest sporting talents to emerge from the Philippines since Manny Pacquiao. That is a huge comparison because Pacquiao became more than just a successful athlete. He became a global icon who inspired millions of Filipinos. Now, in a completely different sport, Alex Eala is creating a similar sense of excitement. The question is becoming impossible to ignore. Could Alex Eala become the next truly global sporting superstar from the Philippines? Eala is not simply another young tennis player trying to survive on the professional tour. She is changing what people believe is possible for Philippine tennis. For years, the Philippines had passionate sports fans and talented athletes, but it had never produced a female tennis player consistently breaking through on the biggest professional stages like Eala is beginning to do. That makes every major victory more meaningful. Eala represents a country that has never been considered a traditional tennis superpower. Yet she has managed to compete in one of the toughest sports in the world, where talent alone is not enough. Players need discipline, coaching, resources, mental strength, and the ability to keep going after difficult losses. Eala's journey eventually took her from the Philippines to the Rafael Nadal Academy in Spain, where she developed her game alongside some of the world's best young players. That experience helped shape her into the competitor she is today. But her journey was never easy. There were losses, difficult matches, slow periods, and enormous expectations from fans back home. Then came the breakthrough. Eala began defeating bigger names and making deeper tournament runs. Suddenly, she was no longer just a promising prospect. She was becoming a genuine threat. One of the biggest moments came during her historic run at the Miami Open, where she showed that she could compete against elite opposition. For Filipino fans, it was more than a tennis victory. It was proof that a player from the Philippines could stand on the same court as some of the biggest names in the sport and truly believe she belonged there. That is where the excitement surrounding Eala began to feel bigger than tennis. The Manny Pacquiao comparison makes sense emotionally, but it is important to remember that Eala has not achieved what Pacquiao achieved yet. Pacquiao spent years building a legendary career and becoming one of the world's most recognizable athletes. Eala is still writing the opening chapters of her own story. But something familiar is happening. An entire nation has found a new sporting hero to believe in. When Eala plays, people pay attention. Her victories create celebration. And even her defeats can feel emotional because fans are becoming deeply invested in her journey. That is what separates a talented athlete from a sporting phenomenon. A phenomenon makes people care. And Eala is beginning to make people care far beyond traditional tennis audiences. Her popularity also comes from achievement, not simply nationality. She has already created historic moments for Philippine tennis. She won the US Open girls singles title as a junior, becoming the first Filipino to win a junior Grand Slam singles championship. Since then, she has continued reaching important professional milestones, improving her ranking, and earning a breakthrough WTA Tour title. Step by step, she has been building something that did not previously exist for many young Filipino tennis players. A genuine pathway. Young athletes in the Philippines can now look at Eala and see someone from their own country competing on the biggest courts in the world. That representation matters. Young girls can watch women's tennis and see a Filipino athlete competing against the world's best. Young players can see that the journey from the Philippines to the international stage is difficult, but possible. However, with growing attention comes another challenge. Expectations. The bigger Eala becomes, the more people expect from her. Can she beat another top player? Can she make deeper runs at Grand Slam tournaments? Can she climb even higher in the rankings? And eventually, can she win a Grand Slam? Those questions are natural, but tennis is unforgiving. One week, a player can look unstoppable. The next week, she can lose in the first round. That is why Eala's journey should not be judged by one match. One defeat does not define her. One victory does not complete her story. What matters is the direction. And right now, that direction is upward. Eala is becoming one of the most recognizable young names in women's tennis. Her biggest fan base may be in the Philippines, but her potential audience is global. The United States, United Kingdom, Canada, Australia, Europe, and Asia all have major tennis audiences. Every time Eala performs on a major stage, her story reaches more people. That makes the US Open especially important. New York is one of the biggest sporting stages in the world, with enormous crowds, media attention, and international visibility. It also carries special meaning for Eala because this was where she achieved one of the biggest moments of her junior career by winning the girls' singles title. But now she returns as a professional with a completely different level of expectation. She is no longer an unknown teenager. She is Alex Eala. Player opponents prepare for. Player fans follow. A player international media wants to talk about. And that changes everything. The question is no longer whether Eala can make history. She already has. The question is how much more history she can create. Can she become the first Filipino tennis player to make a truly deep and consistent impact in professional Grand Slam tennis? Can she reach the final stages of the world's biggest tournaments? Can she eventually lift one of the sport's most important trophies? Nobody can answer those questions yet. But that possibility is exactly what makes her story so exciting. And this brings us back to Manny Pacquiao. Pacquiao did not become a global icon overnight. His legacy was built through years of sacrifice, victories, setbacks, courage, and consistency. Eala is only at the beginning of her own journey. She does not need to become the next Manny Pacquiao. The Philippines already has one. What it may have now is something different. Its first truly global tennis superstar. That could be just as important. Eala is opening a new chapter in Philippine sports. She is proving that Filipino athletes can compete at the highest level in a sport that once seemed far beyond reach. She is creating new fans. She is inspiring young players. And she is putting Philippine tennis into conversations it has rarely entered before. But the most exciting part is that her story is not finished. It may still be at the beginning. The next tournament could bring another breakthrough. The next season could bring another leap in the rankings. And the next Grand Slam could produce the victory that changes everything. That is why the world should be watching Alex Eala now. Not because she has already reached the top, but because we are watching the journey toward it in real time. We are watching a young athlete carry the expectations of a nation. We are watching her experience victories and defeats. We are watching her grow under pressure. And perhaps, we are watching the beginning of the greatest tennis story the Philippines has ever seen. Manny Pacquiao gave the Philippines unforgettable nights in boxing. Now Alex Eala is giving a new generation a reason to believe in tennis. The sports are different. The journeys are different. And their legacies will be different. But the emotion is beginning to feel familiar. A nation is watching. The world is starting to pay attention. And one young athlete is standing at the center of it all. Alex Eala has already made history. But history is not where her story ends. It may be where the real story is only beginning. Because years from now, people may look back at this moment and remember it as the time when Alex Eala stopped being simply a promising tennis player and started becoming something much bigger. Not the next Manny Pacquiao. The first Alex Eala. A global tennis star. A Philippine sporting icon. And perhaps, the athlete who changes the future of tennis in her country forever. The world is watching now. The question is no longer whether Alex Eala can make history. She already has. The real question is, how much more history is she about to make?